All right. So there's a lot I want to talk about in today's episode. I'm not even going to do a real intro, I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to kind of get straight into it. I have a lot written down here because there's a lot of interesting things that I want to kind of touch upon. Of course, I've just finished the 7 Deadly Sins series. It was 7 episodes in a row. So basically a whole week where I'm not even really giving you guys updates on the things going on in my life. Of course, you'll hear it right now, of course, in this episode. But yes, I kind of made a little series. It was something that I wanted to do. It was something that I was interested in doing, and I kind of hinted at it in the past. If you've been following this show pretty consistently, you would have known that I talked a little bit about it in the past. And finally, I now had the made the decision, had the idea to go and do it. So I made an individual episode for each of the 7 deadly sins. It's a Christian theology type of thing, and I thought I did a very good job. Honestly, to me it's a very interesting thing because it's not exclusively something for Christians. It's not exclusively something for believers. It's also a very practical thing at times. It can be a very practical thing. Like I know people in my life who are not really big believers of the faith, but they they acknowledge the 7 deadly sins as an important philosophical type of idea, an important concept like that. So I tried my best to try to cover all the bases when it came to these 7 episodes, talking about each one of the sins. And I really do think I did a good job. I tried my best. I put as much effort as I possibly could into them. I did put a lot of effort. I put my heart and soul into each and every one of those episodes. So it kind of sucks that a couple of them didn't even get any views. Again, I encourage you to go watch them. I really do think that they were very interesting episodes, and you might learn something about yourself, truly. So go and watch them. Go and watch them. Once you're done watching this one, I'll leave them in the cards. I'll leave it in the description, whatever. Go give it a watch. I put it in a playlist and everything, so it'll be there on the channel permanently. Especially, when I'm done the 365 days, it'll still be there. The idea is I'm going to make a bunch of different playlists about some of the best episodes, some of the highlights, some things that can be grouped together for the show, and I'm gonna have it together just kind of as like a time capsule when this show is over. We're going through it, right? We're probably entering the final quarter of the show, let's say, final couple of months here. Not yet, but shortly. So it'll be there, and it's in a playlist, and I encourage you to watch it. I really did do my best to try and explain it and break it down as kind of intellectually and as specifically as I possibly could have. I think I did a good job. After kind of reflecting a little bit on it, I think it was a very good thing. It was a very fun thing that I did, very interesting. So also let me know if you want other types of series like that where I kind of go over a concept that might have to take a few episodes because whether it's in a group of 4, group of 8 things, group of 12, whatever it is. If you enjoyed this series, I'm sure there will be other great ones in the future. Let me know. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. A couple of the videos got some decent views, but a couple of them just were kind of there with 0 views. And I also have another reason why, which I'm kind of going to transition to and talk about. So when I made the podcast with Francesco, which was a very good one, long one, of course, like real podcast type of vibes type of thing, where we did some debates and stuff. That was also a very well made episode that I made a couple weeks ago. That was the first time that I had recorded multiple episodes in one day. It's always been like 365 podcasts. I'd make the episode on the day and then I'd post it. Very rarely would I have to do things ahead of time. But for an episode that long with that much stuff, I had to make a few edits and I had to go through it. It takes a long time. The last times I did those type of long discussion episodes, it it took me way too long to get them posted, so it would be super late in the night when I would post. So instead, I recorded the episode in the morning, just a solo episode, quick solo episode, like a small idea I had, and posted it, and then recorded with Francesco in the afternoon. And then after that, I went the next day and did the full editing and posting the next day. It made the workload a lot easier on me, and I was like, like maybe I should do that more often. And honestly, it was the first time I did that, and I was like, yeah, that makes it more efficient. It makes it more easy for me to get good quality content out there for you guys, to get the proper editing that needs to be done, and to make it look as good as possible. And I think it was good. Obviously, the episode came out. It was very good. It got a decent amount of views. I think, well, by the standards that I hold for the show, it got a pretty good amount of views. So I'm decently content with that. But where I kind of had that was, of course, I'll talk about this in this episode as well. Past weekend, I was doing a personal training course. Of course, I mentioned it sporadically throughout the last couple of episodes leading up to the 7 Deadly Sins series. But the reason why I did the 7 Deadly Sins series is because it gave me time to record on multiple days. Basically, it gave me structure. So I wouldn't, some days this is the case, admittedly. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what am I going to do for the podcast? I honestly have no idea. Sometimes it's like that. It's just like that. With the Seven Deadly Sins series, it kind of gave me some structure. I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through each individual one: lust, and then greed, and then gluttony, and then sloth, and then wrath, and then envy, and then pride. I'm going to do that in order. So last week, I did 3 days where I recorded 2 episodes in one day, and I had scheduled them. And maybe scheduling them is what made the algorithm kind of go a little bit nutty and got a couple of them. A couple of them didn't really get any views at all. Perhaps that was the case, the scheduling of it, the just doing something different on YouTube, because it's very, very meticulous with the way that it wants you to be, like to get views and to kind of get organic traction. The algorithms are kind of like that. So that could be a reason why some of them didn't get any views at all. That's why I have to promote them. That's why I have to talk about them. So obviously, forgive me, right, if you're getting a little bit bored of me talking about it. But the point was, the way I did it, it made it a lot better because I had the personal training course. I knew that I was going to be kind of locked in on that. It was basically 3 full days doing it, just learning about different things. And of course, I'll be talking about specifics because I found it very interesting. But it made me be able to kind of adapt in that way. And then I made 6 episodes, two each day for 3 days to cover for the 3 days that I wouldn't be able to record because I'd be out all day on the course. And I scheduled them all, made all the thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. It didn't actually take me that long, surprisingly enough. It didn't take me that much longer. It was maybe an extra hour total because each of the episodes were about half an hour in length. Like, yes, I did very extensive note taking to make sure that I had the best possible content for you when I made these episodes. But that's kind of the way I did it. And it was a different way of me doing it, and I posted them throughout the time so that I'm not really having as much stress. I'm doing the course, and I don't have to worry about getting home super late at night and having to rush together an episode. I have it all good to go. I had the structure, and I did it all ahead of time so that I was able to go and focus 100% on the course. And then, of course, I made the Pride episode yesterday. Now, just a quick disclaimer in case anyone has anyone gets any ideas, don't get any ideas. It was a complete coincidence. It was honestly funny. Like later in the day yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, June 1st, it's Pride Month. So, and I made an episode about pride. And again, complete coincidence. Like two completely different things. Pride Month and this whole thing and the sin of pride, which I'm talking about as a part of the series. So if that caused any sort of a confusion because of it, honestly, it was truly just a coincidence. I completely didn't even realize. It wasn't a part of my plan. It wasn't in my ideas. It wasn't even in my mind. I didn't even mention anything related to Pride Month in the episode. So of course, like completely different things. Funny little coincidence, but just to kind of say like a little disclaimer about it, it was like not it wasn't meant to be like that. And it was just a coincidence. So don't look at the days. Don't look at that. Just look at the quality of the episode, what I'm actually talking about, which is pride, which is the worst of the 7 deadly sins, which is why I saved it for last, which is why I recorded it kind of separately from the other ones. And it was definitely the longest one, the longest recording of them all, because it is definitely the most important. Completely different to Pride Month in general. So just wanted to kind of make that known as well, make that kind of very clear. So yeah, then I got it out, and the series is done. So I hope you really do enjoy it, and I hope you learn something from it. You don't even need to watch all of them if you don't want to. Just watch a couple of them. Truly try and learn something. If you enjoy them, please let me know and show your support on them. I'd appreciate it because I put a lot of effort in them, and it kind of sucks to see that they're not really getting that many views. So I'd appreciate your support on that. So let's shift. Let's go and talk about the personal training course that I did. Of course, I was recording. I pre-recorded episodes using that strategy to my advantage. And then I went to basically a 3 full day, 27-hour course where it was me learning about all things that had to do with personal training. And the reason why I did it is because it is a very interesting thing to me. It was a very fun course, first and foremost. The instructor was very good. He was a very funny guy, very lively guy. And it was very entertaining throughout the course. He told us so many great stories of situations that he went through and how to handle them and how he handled them. And very funny, very entertaining, very good stuff. And I enjoyed it. Obviously, it was pretty draining because, of course, you're just sitting there, you're learning. Obviously, we went down to the gym, did some exercises, got the blood flowing, blood pumping a bit. We were making programs and stuff, that type of a thing, making like a workout routine, a regimen, those types of things. And for the most part, though, we were in the class. So it was a little bit draining, of course. We were all done, and I think all of us in the room were kind of, it was like a mini class. We were all kind of drained a little bit by the end of it. By the end of the Sunday, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend course type of thing. And basically, like, I found it very interesting. I find this stuff very interesting. We learned a lot about the human body, the way it works, the way our muscles work, all these types of concepts, the whole progressive overload, all these types of things. And I find it very, very interesting. It's like a lot of it, yes, I do know because I've been in the gym for a long time. I am an athlete. I have to know a lot of these things anyway, just by nature of me being trying to make it pro. You need to know at least a good amount of this stuff, the whole thing, mobility, flexibility, stability, all these kinds of concepts, these kinds of ideas, and what they are and how they look like. Training different types of stuff like agility, speed, power, strength, coordination, endurance, different types of concepts. I have to know at least a certain level, but still, there was a lot in there that I didn't know about, that I learned about, or even just reiterated and kind of brought certain ideas that I did learn but kind of forgot about a little bit back into my mind. And honestly, it was very interesting. It was a very interesting course. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun course. And it's this type of stuff that kind of I have to keep kind of doing, these types of things, these types of newer experiences, this type of going out there and truly like learning something, right? Actually learning things that can help you in life. Because a great thing about personal training is it's going to be one of the things that doesn't really get replaced by AI. If anyone is worried about that, I'm not really truly worried about that, but having that license and having the certification, I don't have it yet. Obviously, I'll talk about how that works in going like throughout this episode. I'll talk about it, but still, like when I get it, it will be useful because if I do use it, if I do end up becoming a personal trainer somewhere, it's an option and it's something that won't get replaced by AI because even personal training has become this online thing. There are online programs and courses and stuff. It's not the same. The difference between that human to human connection, that individual connection, that person that wants to keep you accountable, like the people that are getting trained, they want someone there to keep them accountable. And when there's no accountability, it's very easy for you to just fall off. So when you're doing an online course or you're doing online stuff, anything online, really, not just personal training, everything, it's not the same as actually that real human to human connection. So I think that's a good place to put at least some of the eggs in my basket in, like put my eggs into this basket rather, because I think it is something that if I do decide to kind of go on this path, it will be good for me because it will be something that there's definitely something that is long term, that has the potential to have good longevity to it. So that's why I'm doing it. The way it works is I'm not certified yet. I need to There's going to be an exam. Basically, like a month from now, there will be an exam. There's going to be a practical exam where it's basically a written exam, like a school exam, basically, with a whole bunch of stuff, multiple choice, long answer, short answer, all that type of stuff. And then there's going to be a theoretical exam where we actually go and I actually have to make a program for someone or a workout for someone, and to demonstrate that I understand the actual the actual theoretical stuff and the actual practical stuff. No, theoretical is the written one, practical is the in-person one. They're all in person. Like practical is actually you doing it, right? Yes, yes. Those are how those words work. Sometimes I mix them up in my head, so of course forgive me for that. But that's how it works. So maybe in a couple months I'll be officially certified, assuming it all goes well. I'm going to be doing some studying here and there every day, just kind of looking it over, reviewing it, getting these things kind of in my mind. But it's good because it kind of teaches me a lot about what it means to be healthy, what it looks like to exercise and to live a healthy life, which is not only good for me being able to help other people get there, it's great for myself that I know what I need to do to stay healthy going forward, right? Right, and to perhaps even grow even more muscle than I already have. I already kind of like the build that I'm at. Like it's decent. I think maybe I want to be a little bit leaner. Like I feel like a little bit sometimes there's a little bit too much fat, but that could also be just me being a little subconscious, and it could just be all in my head. So still to have a life filled with exercise, lifelong enjoyment of being healthy, that's great for me going forward, and that's great for anyone I can help going forward. So, of course, if you want to have a personal trainer and you want, especially at a decent price, if you feel like you need someone to keep you accountable, you need a personal trainer of some kind, let me know. Hit me up. Captain Corrado Instagram, leave me a DM. I will be certified and I will make sure I get certified and I can help you out, truly. I mean, it's a little side plug, but yeah, if you're actually interested, I do know a lot. I do know my stuff. I went through the course, of course. I will keep reviewing the book, and like there's a textbook that kind of has all these concepts within it, And of course, I'm going to be officially certified. And throughout my life of working out, I do know a lot about a lot of different things. So yeah, if you do need someone to keep you accountable, you need a personal trainer because you feel like you can't reach your goals, that you've been trying so hard to reach a certain milestone and you can't do it, and you need someone with you to help you get there. I can definitely be that guy for you, and definitely at a good price as well. So let me know, hit me up, Captain Carl on Instagram, or even leave a comment in this episode if you're interested. And when I get certified, of course, I'll respond back, and you'll be the first people that I talk to when it comes to actually setting something up, saying some sort of a workout plan up or a program for you. So little side plug, but yeah, I've been doing it. And personal training, just knowing all these things will help me in many different aspects of my life. So I find that it was a great course, it was a great program, great experience, and I learned a lot. And I find that kind of stuff interesting. Obviously, the 365 podcast motto is basically God, health, life every single day, right? That's in the channel banner if you haven't seen it. Health is in there because that's something I'm really fascinated by, because I am an athlete. A lot of what I talk about on this show will be based on my experiences trying to make it pro in football, which is all active, athletic type of lessons that come from it, and actual real health. I've made episodes about sleep. I've made episodes about sunlight, or about just how to work out, things that you can do, right? Knowing more of these things by actually doing the course and learning and spending that time learning will really help me give you guys better information, and as well just in my life as well, and help the people that I'm going to be helping with regards to the personal training. And it will help me with my coaching as well. I'm doing some coaching with my soccer team, my old soccer team that I used to play for here in Canada. I'm doing coaching. I'm helping them out. Obviously, I still have to get my coaching licenses, but that part's a little more complicated. The PT stuff will still help me to create good drills for them, good exercises for them, physical stuff on a fitness day, let's say, good stuff for them, because it will give me more ideas, more things to look at, and it'll help them out as well and help them be better and be more physically capable as well, which the more I can help others, the better, and that's good. It will help me in many aspects, which is why I did it, and that's why it was a good time. I had a good time, and yeah, I'm going to be doing my best in these next few weeks to officially get that certification, so that I can actually go out there and have this as an option for me to help other people reach their physical health and wellness goals. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing the last few days. That's why I went through the 7 Deadly Sins series, and that's why it's been a while since I've actually done one of these like reflective type of episodes, because yes, I wasn't actually recording on the day. It was pre-recorded videos that I made sure to upload on the days that I was doing the course. But now that's done, of course I have a little more time to talk. So I'm letting you know these are the types of things that are happening in my life. Another thing I wanted to talk about is just the month of May in general. Like, I just realized yesterday, of course, June 1st, today's June 2nd. The month of May for me, I don't know about you, but for me it was so slow. It honestly felt like it was two different months. It felt completely night and day. The first half of May was me still working at the gym that I was working at as a front desk guy, still kind of suffering a little bit, waking up super early, not having a good sleep schedule, kind of just feeling the pain of it, slowly just kind of grinding my teeth, getting through it, and then I end it. And then second half of the month, it's just felt completely different. It's just felt like it's been a different part of my life. I'm doing the coaching now. I'm kind of deeper into the coaching, my team, personal training course, studying for that, focusing on that. That was the end of May. And the weather, first half of the month of May was like gloomy, rainy, in Toronto at least, gloomy, rainy, bad. Second half of May is like pure summer weather. It's like 25 degrees today, sunny. It's kind of been like that last couple of weeks, really, minus like a couple of anomalies. So really, like, honestly, for me, it's literally felt like two different months. It's like I think about some things, I'm like, that happened in May? I feel like that was in like April or March or something like that. No, that was in May. It feels like so long ago already since I quit my job at the gym. But it's only been a couple weeks. It has not been that long, really. But it's felt longer just because, I guess, of the way the month has gone. And of course, one half of it being bad weather, the other half of it being amazing weather. Just, again, it feels night and day. It feels like it's two different climates, two different months. The weather helps. And of course, where I am in my life is very, very different. So I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like things are going slow. Like like I've already kind of talked about it, but yeah, the winter season in my life was a slow season. It was very slow, very long, many different things. Like I think about my door-to-door sales experience even today, to this day. Like I think and I'm like, man, that feels like years ago. But it really wasn't. It was only like 8 months ago or so. It feels like years ago that I was there doing door to door, actually knocking on people's doors in the freezing winter cold and selling stuff and getting rejections and all this kind of stuff, being in there in the midst of it. It's hard for me to imagine being in the midst of it because it feels so long ago, but it really wasn't. But it's just because it's been so slow for me. A lot of people, like, the time is just going by super quickly. Like, it's just flying by. But for me, it's just felt like a drag, honestly. I'm like, really? I rekindled and like the coach that I hadn't really seen for 3 years. It was in May that I kind of talked to him. It feels like we kind of got back and we just kind of got straight into things and there hasn't really been anything crazy because there hasn't been. And obviously I'll get into that. But you know what? Why not just get into it right now? I have also written down here the beauty of having people you can be away from for years and rekindle right away and just get straight back to where you left off. That was kind of me with my coach, and I'm very grateful that I have a coach like that, where it's like I literally didn't see him for close to 3 years. It was close to 3 years. I left in the summer of 2023 to go to Portugal. Didn't see him at all in any of the time that I've come back and any of the time that I've been in Canada this most recent time. And then finally in May, like maybe mid-May, right around the time that I quit the job or that I like officially left the job, we kind of came back and we literally like left off where we were. And that's really what it's felt like. It's felt like we've just left off exactly where we were 3 years ago and we've just kind of gone straight back into it. And now I'm helping him out with the team and I'm helping him out coaching, doing what I can and being there, being present with them, still learning the guys' names, still learning what they do and where their positions are and what they're good at and all these types of things. But but honestly, like there's nothing better than that. Like I have friends like that too, where it's like when I was in Portugal, we didn't really stay that connected. I actually did a pretty good job in staying connected with a lot of the people around me back home, but there were some people that I definitely did not stay connected with at all. And we kind of again, same thing, kind of came back together and just went exactly where we were, right? Went exactly where we were, where we left off. And it's very beautiful to have those types of relationships because there are some people that with distance, you grow apart and you change and one person changes, the other person changes and you kind of come back together after a few years and you don't really know each other again. But it's an amazing, beautiful thing to have people in your life where you can feel comfortable not talking to them for a few months, going away, whatever, few months, few years, and then come back and kind of be exactly where you left off and keep that relationship alive. I don't think there's not many things that are more beautiful than that type of a beautiful relationship, which is what I had with my coach, which is why again, month of May it goes back to like, it feels like a long time. It feels like we literally just got back into it. It wasn't this crazy thing, but it feels like I've just been talking to him for longer than I have. But same thing, I've only been in the team for a couple weeks as well because again, as I was leaving my job at the gym, I was kind of transitioning into coaching, showing up, helping these guys out. And and that's like it's felt way longer. It's felt way longer than it was. Perhaps because of the fact that we just kind of got straight back into it, or because again of the contrasting nature of the first half versus the second half of the month. It might just be me, but I don't think I'm alone here. I don't think I'm alone, at least not in Toronto, because it's definitely felt like it's two different months. And again, I look back and I'm like, really, that happened in May? I feel like it was much longer ago. And and yeah, I mean that's honestly the case. It honestly feels like the month of April was just a drag for me, and the month of May has just kind of been trying to move out of that kind of slog fest, let's say, that kind of just negativity, depressing type of vibes, trying to get myself into a better state, improving my faith. And I think I've been doing a pretty decent job at that. But that's why it's just kind of a byproduct of all that's been happening in my life. It's like wow, it's literally felt like two different months in one, which is interesting. So now we're in June and hopefully things will be a little bit different in the month of June. But yeah, I will definitely look back at the month of May for me personally, and I'm gonna be thinking a little bit like, like when I do my end of year reflection at the end of this year, I'll look back in May and I'll be like, that was definitely one of the more interesting months out of the year for sure. Another thing that I've been dealing with is some personal faith battles. And not to say that I have been losing faith. I think I'm trying my best here to believe in God. I still believe in God and Jesus Christ. My faith is still growing strong. I still try my best out there. But my personal faith battles is essentially the shame of sin. It is internal. It is me, right? It is me kind of hating myself a little bit because I feel like I'm not doing enough for God. I'm not doing enough for the Lord. I feel like I'm continuing to fall into the same patterns, same problems, same issues that I've fallen into in the past way too often. And I feel like just sometimes I just kind of let that pass and let it slide without giving it a real good thought, real good light of day, and recognizing the sin for what it is. And it kind of makes me feel a little bit guilty, and it weighs on me a little bit. Like it makes me feel very, very deep about a lot of it, right? And that's kind of what I've been going through. Obviously, when I was working my job and I was going through kind of the worst feelings that I was going through, I made episodes about it during the months of March and April. You'll see kind of how a lot of the sentiment that I talk about in a lot of those episodes are pretty negative. They're pretty a lot of it's just kind of pretty depressing because that's where I've been. That's where I was. And I was trying to get out of it, but it's just kind of I'm still trying to find my way in this world, right? I don't really know where I'm going, right? I'm doing the PT course because I'm hoping that it could be something good, but I don't have like a specific plan to 100% specifically go into personal training, right? I'm doing this coaching, but I don't have my licenses yet, so there's no real growth yet because I'm not going to be getting paid until I can actually be officially licensed. Then the whole complication with that is something that I don't need to get into in this episode. And I'm still trying to find my way in my life, and it's kind of been making me think like, yeah, I'm still falling into the same types of sin, the same types of problems, and it makes me feel guilty every time I wake up late and I'm not fishing with my day or type of thing, or I waste a lot of time during the day. It makes me feel worse about myself because I know all of these things to be true. I know that I'm wasting the time that God's given me, the precious limited time, on whatever garbage that I'm wasting it on. And I also know that the same sins that I fall into will just continue to slowly eat at me and destroy me. So that's why I pray on these things. That's why I'm trying my best to always remember God throughout the day and throughout my actions. But I find that myself, when things are emotionally heightened, when feelings are emotionally heightened, I find that oftentimes I do fall into the exact sins that I'm trying to avoid that I know are bad. The seven deadly sins that I talk about, I'm guilty of each and every one of them at one point or another throughout my life, throughout at least these last couple months, at one point or another, in some way, I am guilty of each and every one of them. So it leads me to kind of sit there in a little bit of shame. But what I've been trying to do to grow my faith, trying to get myself back on the right track in terms of my faith in God and my belief in all of these things and my personal self-esteem, is to just remember what the Lord says. I read one of the most beautiful, most amazing passages that spoke to me in one of the greatest ways yesterday, and I want to kind of share that with you. It's from John chapter 6, and it was basically Jesus talking about how he's the bread of life, right? I don't know the exact verses off the top of my head, but basically someone asks, how can we do the works of God, basically? And Jesus responds with, to do the work of God is to believe on him who he hath sent. And I believe that's pretty much exactly what he says. It might like I'm paraphrasing there, but that is, to me, one of the most beautiful things, because you believe in God. You can get into the nuances of what belief actually is and faith by works and all this stuff, but that's a very comforting thing, and it spoke a lot to me because I'm over here thinking in my own shame, in my own sin, but God has already given us the victory through Jesus Christ, and we have to have faith in him. I have great faith in him. I try my best, but I still fall into the same problems, of course. But through God and through his power, you're saved, not through anything you do. So you can keep trying, you can keep striving, but you don't want to let the sin make you be shameful, because that is the devil's trap. He wants you to kind of reminisce and ruminate in your own faults and your own failures to move even further away from faith. That is his trap. That is his way of trying to move you away from God in some regard. And I have to just kind of be humble and be conscious and not let that happen to me, because I recognize how I fall into these exact patterns, and that type of a verse is very, very comforting to me, because it's like, yeah, God is there for you, and he is the one that will bring you out of all sin, all temptation, no matter what. It's not necessarily about what you do, it's about what he has already done. So put your faith in him. Don't have any fears of the world. Put the faith in him, and he will make your path straight, and he will help you. and it will be a process, but on the other side of it will be something truly glorious. And remembering these things and being remembrance of just your duty on this earth is to believe in Jesus Christ, is to love the Lord your God with your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. That is your goal. And anything beyond that is it's just like you don't need to think too much about it. And I think the way Jesus kind of simplifies in this way, it makes it very simple, very real, very easy to digest and understand. That you don't have to get so into the weeds and complex about it. Just treat others the way you would like to be treated, help other people, serve others, and have your faith be strong in the Lord Jesus Christ. And everything else will kind of fall into place. Don't be so shameful of yourself. Don't beat yourself up and put yourself down. I find that for me, that's what I've been doing. Kind of just ruminating on things that I shouldn't be ruminating on these last couple months when it came to my job, when it came to even past the job, still trying to find my way in this world, but that's okay because God is there. And the more I have faith, the more I grow in faith, the more meaning I'll find, the more purpose I'll find and I'll have in my life. And that's kind of where I'm trying to go to. So I've been having these kind of personal internal struggles. Like another thing that I'm kind of still thinking about is like a few days ago, of course, like while I was recording the Seven Deadly Sins series. That's why I'm making this episode. I'm just talking about everything. I'm literally throwing it all out there. It's like I was watching a Modern Wisdom episode, Chris Williamson, where he was talking about this idea that in your mind you fantasize things. You come up with situations about something that has never happened before, but that's your way of coping. That's your way of coping with the fear of doing the thing, because then your body is actually being put through the exact emotions. You're simulating the situation, but not actually taking any action. And I kind of really, really was hit hard by that because I'm like, dude, that's me. All the time. All the time. When something happens in my life, I'm fantasizing about what I could have said or I could have done in a situation to make it better, to make it different in some way. Or if I fail to do something, what I could have done, fantasizing about like walking up to a girl or something like that, or some interaction, some conversation I would have had with my boss or some of my friends or whatever, what I could have done better. And I ruminate on those thoughts and I kind of have these fantasies and things in my head that never happen. And that's the point, is that they never happen. All it does is play to your fears. And I find that like once I kind of heard that concept, I was just like, whoa, like that's me. I kind of do that. And oftentimes I am paralyzed by that fear, and it stops me from acting in a godly manner, in a way that I should, because I'm just fantasizing things and thinking about things that will never happen, but because it's just a way for my brain to cope and get away with or rationalize not doing the thing that you should be doing. And I find that I'm guilty of that, and that's a part of my faith battle, because I'm like, well, damn, like how little faith must I have to be so fearful of these things when I know that my God is there to save me and to make my path straight and to bring me up, right? So it's all just all internal. It's all within myself that my faith is kind of, I'm not going to say waning, I'm not going to say struggling, but it's definitely knocked about a little bit. It has nothing to do with my belief in God. It has nothing to do with how God affects my life. I still recognize many great gifts in my life every day. It's just internally my own mind and how I just see how it's just so screwed up in so many ways. And when I realize these things, it's like it hurts me a little bit and it hits me really hard and really deep, and I have to sit there and reflect on things a little bit. But I think at the end of my reflections, it is as simple as we got to keep fighting. Recognizing that these things are there and they're there is the first step to kind of moving forward. And for me personally, it's the first step to overcoming those feelings, those things that I truly hate about myself, those things that truly make me shameful about myself. And that's the first step. The first step is by recognizing it. But you don't want to sit in it too long. You don't want to kind of drown yourself in that pool of thoughts and reminiscing in a bit of anger, self-loathing. You don't want to sit in that too long. You want to always be like, okay, it's there. Let's continue fighting against it, calling it out whenever you're having that type of a thought. Whenever you have thoughts, just replace it with actually taking action. Don't think, but just take action. And through it all, give it to God. Always remember God, even through emotional times and heightened emotional states. Always remember Jesus Christ and what he says and what he does for us every day. And use that faith to truly propel you forward. But it's a process. And this is the process that I'm still trying to go through. It's still what I'm trying to deal with, reflect on, and move forward from. But yes, when I'm looking at all of these things, it really, really hits me deep. And it's really comforting to know that, yes, God is there for me. Jesus is there no matter what. And I just have to grow in faith by not letting those things, my own sins, my own faults, affect my relationship with God at all, and continue fighting that fight of faith every day. Because remember and recognize that you're not fighting against something you can see. You're fighting against the devil and his principalities and his spirits and his angels. You're not fighting against anything you can see. You're fighting against something way greater, which is the ultimate evil that exists and that is within yourself. And the way you fight it is with the shield of faith. You quench the darts. You know the Ephesians chapter 6, right? The armor of God. You have the shield of faith, and you have the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, which is the gospel of peace, which is to fight against all of the devil's temptations, is by knowing the word and by always being in remembrance of Jesus Christ teaching what he would do in that situation, right? It's a cliche, but it's like literally, like, what would Jesus do, right? What does it mean to be good in this situation, to act in the right way, so that you're not going to be shameful? You're not going to succeed every time because we're all human, we're all imperfect, but recognizing where you fall short is the first step. And I find that sometimes I kind of go too far in that, and that's been my faith battle. So I apologize for this a little bit of a ranty thing, but I hope that it serves you, it helps you in some way when it comes to the faith things that you're dealing with. That yes, no matter what, God is there. And no matter what, he is helping you. He is trying to tell you something every day. And he is putting you through things that will help you grow stronger and overcome the sins and temptations you're dealing with every single day. Recognize when sin is sin. That's the first step to overcoming it. And the next step is to understanding the word, understanding what you need to do to overcome the temptations in the moment of heightened emotions. That's probably the hardest part, and the part where I still struggle and fall very far short all the time. But even when you fall short, always remember that God is there for you to rest on, and for you to kind of pray to and repent to, and be at more peace with your days, knowing that Jesus Christ is there and he is guiding you and he is helping you and he will save you and he will help you overcome these things if you truly put your faith in him. I have to constantly remember these things every day. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes these exact feelings come about in me and it makes me feel very shameful, but I really do have to pray on it. I have to remember and recognize God throughout my days and allow that to move me forward in my life to overcome the sins and the evils that are within me. So yes, that is my little faith rant, my faith battle that I've also been going through. I'm really just trying to leave it all out there in this episode. I might as well, right? Because this is the episode that I'm just leaving it all out there, talking about all the things that have been happening. Like to me, I feel like a hypocrite, and it's because I am. I talked about the 7 deadly sins for this last week, and I fall into those exact sins. Of course, it makes me feel like a hypocrite because it's true, right? But the point is, it's like God doesn't care. He cares about your faith in him, and he knows that with true faith in him, you will eventually overcome those sins. So I'm continuing to walk that walk, and I'm continuing to try my best. And I hope that you take something from this little rant, this little reflection about my own struggles. If you're dealing with some of the similar struggles, it's about knowing the word. It's about knowing what God wants from you and just recognizing just how much God loves you because he stepped down on this earth and went through the worst, most terrible punishment imaginable to man just so that he can save the sinners. He can save the people that he loves the most. Always remember that and always be in remembrance of that fact, and that will help you move forward, at least in some capacity, to a level of peace, a level of deeper meaning, and a level of purpose and fulfillment in your life. Yeah, that was yeah, I mean that was deep. That was interesting because like that's what I'm going through, man. That's what I'm going through, and I'm just being vulnerable, talking about the things that I'm dealing with, and I really do hope that this type of a reflection helps you in some way, or even any of the other reflections that I've already gone through in this episode will help you in some way. As much as I'm going through these things, I am optimistic. Of course, I've been talking about the hype for the summer, basically. It's like same type of thing. It kind of ties into other things that I've been talking about in this episode. Like beginning of May, I was kind of like doom and gloom. But then as the month of May kind of moved on and I left my job, I was really starting to like get hyped for the summer, right? Right with my friends, we're planning a couple of great trips. There's a couple of important, interesting, fun, amazing things coming up in the future, in the near future and throughout the summer. I'm expecting to have a very fun summer, and I want to make this summer as fun and as fulfilling as it can possibly be after a time in my life, a winter in my life that's been very long and much of a drag and very tough to deal with. So I've been kind of talking about those things like nearing more the latter end of the month of May. Beginning of the month of May was kind of more doom and gloom type of thing. And I'm slowly moving out of those types of feelings. And now that we're in June, summer is literally right here. The weather is kind of showing that summer is here. Again, it's 25 degrees sunny right now in Toronto, and it's only going to get better as the days go on, as we get deeper into the summer months. I'm excited. And of course, World Cup's right around the corner, right? Like that's going to be a very fun thing. Of course, it is what it is. I wanted to play in that tournament. That was my whole thing back in the day. I wanted to play in this tournament. I wanted to be there in the Canada national team. But I reflect on that time and I'm like, you know what? It probably was always going to be a far fetched thing. And I just have to keep moving forward. It's God's plan, not my plan. And the whole point is that something else will come about that becomes glorious, that will fulfill his plan. And it's not going to be me going to this tournament. And I think I'm more at peace with that than maybe I was like a few months ago, let's say, when I was still kind of going through the thick of it. I think I'm a little bit more at peace with that. So I can just kind of sit there and enjoy the entertainment that will come from the World Cup, the fan zones that we're going to go to, and all the fun that is to be had during this World Cup season in Toronto, where we're actually, it's coming, right? Like we're literally, the games are going to be there in the city, which is going to be a good thing for the sport of soccer, for the sport of football in the city and in the country, I hope, and in this part of the world where, yeah, it's like I've never seen that much football memorabilia in like just random stores throughout malls and stuff. It's never like that. There's always whatever, basketball or hockey or like baseball or whatever other sports. I've never seen like a Champs, if you know what Champs is, the store, have like that amount of football jerseys and memorabilia and stuff like that, because everyone's preparing for the World Cup, and that's good. And that's good. Like Winners, for example, has a lot of that type of stuff, whereas really it wouldn't really no on a normal day. So so yeah, like I look at that and I'm like, huh, interesting. Like it's interesting, and I hope it's a good thing for the country going forward, that more people appreciate the sport of football, and that the culture that I see in Europe can be spread and brought to this part of the world. Hopefully the World Cup can help with that. And I'm pretty optimistic for that. I'm optimistic for all the fun times that are going to be had, the good memories that we're going to be making in this World Cup. And yes, I'm putting my own kind of personal biases behind me and just trying to focus on enjoying it as much as possible, enjoying that and enjoying the rest of the summer as much as possible, so that I can look back and really appreciate summer 2026. And when the next season of my life comes about, and maybe I have to put a little bit more work in and I have less time to enjoy the gifts of life, I have to just keep grinding, get my head down and work. I can go back to the time that I did truly enjoy it and make the most of it, and really appreciate that time. That's what I'm trying to do this summer. So I'm optimistic. I'm happy. I'm ready to go for the summer. I really do think it will be an amazing summer. I really am excited for the World Cup, even if there's a lot of like, corruption behind it, obviously. I think that it will still be a super entertaining tournament. Just as how Qatar 2022, there was all this controversy, the corruption, all this stuff. It was still a super amazing tournament. Like it was like the entertainment factor and the actual games were so good to watch. So I'm hoping, and I'm also very optimistic that still in this tournament it will still be that way. Even if there are a lot of countries that definitely shouldn't be there because they're very bad, they don't have the quality to be in the World Cup, they'll get knocked out very early on, and by the knockout stages there will be like the big behemoth matchups. Like Argentina and Portugal, if they win all their games, they will meet in the quarterfinals. So that is going to be a very, very interesting thing to see. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the summer. Obviously, I've talked about pretty much everything that was on my mind in this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was something interesting. This definitely feels a little bit more podcasty than a lot of the other episodes, because it's literally just me. It's literally just me being here, talking the talk, different topics, many different concepts. It's a lot different. So I hope you enjoyed this, a little bit of a different type of vibe, different feeling to it. Because I find like a lot of my episodes of these podcasts, it's like me talking about one specific concept and trying to wrap it up into some sort of like a half-hour video or something like that, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. In this episode, it was definitely filled with a lot of other things, some personal things, a lot of personal things, spiritual things, and kind of things to look at going forward. These are just a bunch of the different things that are on my mind right now, a bunch of the different things that I'm thinking about going forward, and I hope that you learned something from it. I hope that it is a message that speaks with you in some way, and I hope that you just found it interesting or entertaining in some way, and if any one of those things apply, that's all that matters, right? And that's why I do this. So I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for watching this. That's really all I gotta say when it comes to everything that I've been dealing with in my life up until this point. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching this episode of the 365 podcast. As always, show your support in every way that you can. Like the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this episode. And truly, I would appreciate your support in any way that you can. And of course, I always appreciate if you made it this far. If you're still watching till this point, thank you. Thank you for showing your support and being here through the whole journey of my life and for following it. I really do appreciate you for being here, and I hope that you definitely did learn something important or meaningful in some way in this episode. I tried my best. So thank you for watching this episode. That's all I got for today. Of course, when I have more ideas, interesting ideas in the future, I will be making it and putting it into the next episode. I make an episode every day. So, of course, there will be plenty of days to kind of talk and reminisce and think about even further, reflect on the things that I've been going through. But I think I did a good job, and I think I've kind of finished all of that today. So I'm going to put a bow on it. Thank you for watching this episode of the 365 podcast. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow for the next one.